Canada faces immigration challenge. 4.9 million expected to leave by end of 2025. Welcome back to Canada Chronicles. Today, we're tackling one of the most pressing issues in the country's immigration landscape, the expiration of 4.9 million temporary visas by the end of 2025. What does this mean for the millions of students, workers, and visitors who've built lives here? And how will Canada rise to the challenge? In this video, we'll break down the economic and social impacts, examine the risks to essential industries, and, most importantly, explore actionable solutions that could turn this challenge into an opportunity for Canada. Stay tuned until the end, where we'll discuss proposed solutions, including changes to immigration pathways and how innovative strategies could help Canada retain its global reputation as a land of opportunity. If you find value in our content, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update about the issues that matter most. Ready to dive in? Let's get started. The challenge at hand. Canada's immigration system has long been a cornerstone of the nation's inclusivity and global reputation. It draws students, workers, and visitors from every corner of the world. However, the impending expiration of approximately 4.9 million temporary visas by the end of 2025 has created a looming challenge. Millions of individuals who live, work, and study in Canada are now facing an uncertain future. For some, it's about leaving behind years of investment in education or employment. For others, it's navigating complex pathways to extend their stay or transition to permanent residency. For Canada, this challenge is more than a logistical issue, it's a test of its economic resilience, immigration framework, and commitment to supporting those who contribute to its growth. Let's explore the scope of this challenge and the significant stakes involved. Who are the 4.9 million? The individuals impacted by this deadline form an essential part of Canada's economy and society. They include international students, temporary foreign workers, and visitors, each group contributing in unique and vital ways. International students are central to Canada's higher education system. With over 1.1 million enrolled as of mid-2024, they bring billions of dollars into the economy through tuition fees, housing costs, and other expenditures. Beyond their financial impact, they create jobs by driving demand for services, fostering innovation in academic institutions, and often filling part-time roles in local communities. Temporary foreign workers sustain industries such as agriculture, hospitality, healthcare, and construction. These industries depend on their contributions to meet growing demand and ensure operations run smoothly. Without their labor, productivity drops, operations slow, and businesses may face closure, especially in rural or underserved areas. Visitors and tourists, while shorter-term contributors, inject billions annually into the economy. Their spending supports local businesses like hotels, restaurants, and cultural attractions, which are integral to Canada's tourism sector. Collectively, these groups strengthen the workforce, stimulate the economy, and enhance Canada's cultural diversity. Yet as their visas approach expiration, their futures, and the benefits they bring to the nation, are at risk. What the government expects. Canada's immigration framework is built on the principle of voluntary compliance. Immigration Minister Mark Miller has expressed confidence that most temporary residents will either renew their visas, transition to permanent residency if eligible, or leave the country as required. However, critics have questioned whether this expectation is realistic given the sheer number of people affected. Conservative MP Tom Kamik has raised concerns about the government's ability to effectively track and enforce the departure of nearly 5 million individuals. These concerns are not without merit. Many believe that gaps in enforcement mechanisms, particularly for those who overstay their visas, pose significant challenges. The Canada Border Services Agency is responsible for ensuring visa compliance. However, it faces resource constraints and limited infrastructure to monitor such a large volume of temporary residents. Addressing this challenge requires better tools, increased funding, and greater interagency collaboration to track and manage departures effectively. Economic and social risks. The departure of millions of temporary residents could create a domino effect, with significant economic and social consequences. Industries that rely heavily on temporary foreign workers, including agriculture, hospitality, and healthcare, could face severe labor shortages. Without enough workers to maintain operations, productivity declines, timelines are delayed, and businesses risk financial losses, or worse, permanent closure. Educational institutions are also at risk. A drop in international student enrollment could lead to funding shortfalls for universities and colleges, many of which depend on these students' tuition fees. This could force institutions to cut programs or increase tuition for domestic students, placing additional pressure on Canadian families. Tourism-dependent communities and small businesses would feel the strain as well. A significant decrease in visitors and workers would lead to lower spending in local economies, impacting everything from housing markets to retail and transportation networks. Beyond these economic implications, the loss of millions of temporary residents could alter Canada's cultural landscape. These individuals bring diversity, new perspectives, and vibrant contributions to their communities. Their departure would leave gaps not easily filled, reshaping the social fabric of cities and towns. Pathways to stay. While the numbers are daunting, not all 4.9 million individuals are expected to leave. Canada has created several programs to help temporary residents extend their stay or transition to permanent residency. These include Express Entry, the Provincial Nominee Program, and the Post-Graduation Work Permit. The Post-Graduation Work Permit allows international students to gain Canadian work experience after completing their studies. This often serves as a stepping stone to permanent residency through programs like Express Entry. Similarly, provinces collaborate with the federal government through nominee programs to address specific labor needs, offering skilled workers a route to permanent residency. However, barriers remain. Eligibility requirements, limited quotas, and processing delays leave many in limbo. Workers in lower-paying industries, for example, often struggle to meet the criteria for residency. Expanding these pathways and addressing bottlenecks could open doors for those who are already contributing significantly to Canada's economy and society. Challenges in monitoring and enforcement. Enforcing immigration laws on this scale is no small task. The Canada Border Services Agency, responsible for ensuring compliance, faces significant logistical and resource challenges. Without sufficient tools to track visa holders or enforce regulations, Canada risks a rise in undocumented residents. It is estimated that approximately 500,000 people in Canada already live without legal status. If even a fraction of the 4.9 million temporary residents overstay their visas, this number could grow substantially. This would place additional strain on public services, housing availability, and enforcement agencies. Experts and advocates have called for improved interagency coordination, enhanced data sharing practices, and the development of advanced tracking systems to monitor visa compliance. These measures would strengthen Canada's immigration system while reducing the burden on enforcement agencies. The human element. Behind these statistics are the personal stories of individuals whose lives are deeply affected. International students arrive in Canada with dreams of building a brighter future, investing heavily in their education with the hope of transitioning to long-term residency. Temporary workers, who often take on challenging roles in critical sectors, hope that their contributions will be recognized and rewarded with opportunities to stay. Even visitors and tourists, though their time in Canada may be short, often develop strong emotional ties to the country. For all these individuals, the expiration of a visa isn't just a legal hurdle, it's a life-changing event that involves leaving communities, careers, and opportunities behind. Thanks for staying with us this far. We appreciate your time and hope this deep dive has provided valuable insights into Canada's immigration challenge. Now, let's explore how this issue can be addressed and what solutions could pave the way forward. Proposed solutions. To navigate this challenge, Canada must act decisively. Expanding existing immigration programs, particularly for in-demand workers and international graduates, could help retain the talent and labor needed to sustain the economy. Simplifying visa renewal processes and reducing backlogs would also ease the burden on temporary residents, preventing unnecessary departures. Investing in advanced tracking systems to monitor visa compliance is essential. These systems would improve enforcement efforts, provide accurate data for policymakers, and reduce the risk of undocumented residents. Public awareness campaigns are another vital tool. By educating temporary residents about their options and responsibilities, Canada can encourage informed decision-making and voluntary compliance. Clear communication can reduce overstays and foster trust in the immigration system. Finally, collaboration is key. Federal and provincial governments must work closely with educational institutions, employers, and community organizations to develop solutions that balance economic needs with fairness and compassion. What's at stake? The expiration of 4.9 million temporary visas represents more than a logistical challenge. It is a defining moment for Canada's immigration system, with far-reaching implications for its economy, culture, and global reputation. By taking bold and innovative steps, Canada can turn this challenge into an opportunity. Expanding pathways for temporary residents, enhancing enforcement mechanisms, and fostering a collaborative approach to immigration policy will ensure the country remains a beacon of opportunity, inclusivity, and diversity. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into one of Canada's most pressing challenges. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on the issues that matter most. What are your thoughts on the solutions we discussed? Drop a comment below, we'd love to hear your perspective. Until next time, this is Canada Chronicles, where we keep you informed and engaged. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.